is the future.
Are you ready to crush your bookies?
Evolution.
Hello, sports betting friends. I hope you are in great shape because we have a jam-packed video today. Because I'm going to do something that I've never done before, and that is to present a pick on every single baseball game. So today there are 10 games on the menu in Major League Baseball, and I will give you a free pick on each of them, and that will include one of my premium picks. So as you know, my premium picks are the very best. All right. And also, I want to mention the fact that towards the end of the video, I will give you details about a free prediction contest that you can enter, and you could win $100 US if you are the best predictor of all. So basically, you will need to make a pick on every game that will take place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I'll be back later with all of the details. All right, let's start by recapping what happened yesterday. I provided to you 4 picks, all on underdogs. In fact, they were the 4 teams that my betting systems were suggesting to bet. So, and in the end, all of them won except one. So basically, we posted a 3-1 record, all with underdogs, which was great. I was hoping to get a 2-2 record, which would have been okay to net a profit, but we got a 3-1 record, which was great. So first of all, we took the Chicago Cubs, who won 8-2 against the Twins. Up next, we took the Washington Nationals, who ended up losing by a 7-4 score against the San Francisco Giants. I was hoping that Blake Snell would lose after throwing his no-hitter. He was not that great as I expected, but the Giants just scored too many runs in that game. Finally, I took the Brew Crew and they prevailed 8-5 in Atlanta. And finally, we took the Detroit Tigers, who ended up winning 6-2 in Seattle behind a strong performance by Tariq Skubal. So I hope you were able to cash from these picks. All right, I want to say some special hello to Alan Smetana, Gerald Lewis, Kyle Fuentes, who is here to crush his bookie. Glad to see you. Also, I am seeing, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, WAGZ, who is one of my YouTube members, and that will give me an opportunity to talk about this. So, as you might have noticed, below each of my video, there is a join button that was added in recent weeks. And that allows you to take advantage of some great perks. Let me show you quickly what you get. So you can see there is a bronze, silver, and gold level. So with the bronze level, you receive all of my daily MLB system picks. So in other words, I'll tell you which teams my 19 betting systems are suggesting to bet, along with a quick comment that will let you know how much I like or dislike the play. And you also get a performance update about each of my 19 systems. So you will see how each of them has fared in 2024. Up next, the silver level, you get the same perks from the bronze level, plus you also get a pick on every single game. So what I'm going to do today in my live stream will give you a taste of what you get when you sign up for the silver level, because that's exactly what I do. I make a pick about every game and some member shoutouts. And finally, if you take the gold level, you get all the perks from the previous levels along with one additional premium pick every single day. All right, so let's get started because we have a big video today. First, let's talk about the Rays versus Cards game. And in this game, my pick is that no run will be scored in the first inning. As you can see on your screen, the best line I saw earlier was minus 120 in American format, which is the same as 1.83 if you are more familiar with decimal odds. But obviously, maybe your bookie has a line that's a bit higher or lower. It could vary a little bit. In this game, Shane Baz will start for the Rays. He's only started 5 games this year, and he's done very well in his past 3 outings. In fact, he has given up 2 runs or fewer in each of his past 3 starts. And those games were in Houston, against the Reds, and at the Yankees. So none of them was an easy game. He was facing some pretty good offenses, and he still fared very well. On the other side, we have Kyle Gibson, who has posted some ordinary numbers this year, but Tampa has scored the third fewest runs in the big leagues this season, so I think Gibson can shut out the Rays in the first inning. And of course, my mathematical model that simulates each game 1 million times also likes this bet. So this is why this is my pick on the Rays versus Cardinals game. Now, this is not I told you earlier that there will be one premium pick. I will let you know when that will be the case. But right here, this is one of the picks that I like the most. I could argue that. Up next, in the Tigers versus Mariners game, what do I like the most right now? The Mariners minus half a run in the first 5 innings of the game. Well, you know what? Seattle simply needs this win. And also, they are due for an offensive outburst. In their last 3 games, they have scored a total of just 4 runs. Now, they will be upset and they will be really laser focused to put some runs on the board pretty early. Also, they are facing a quite weak starting pitcher, while for Seattle, Brian Wu will take the mound, and he has been rock solid at home. Have you ever heard of his ERA this year at home? 0.95. That's incredible. He's been very solid of late, so I think Seattle will get off to a fast start. I mean, you could also take the Mariners with the money line or the run line for the entire game. You know, I like the Mariners as a general rule in this meeting, but according to my numbers, this is where we get the best value, taking the Mariners minus half a run in the first 5 innings. And as you can see on your screen, the best line I found was minus 114, which was available with bookies like Bet Rivers, Unibet, Bally, and Leo Vegas. So that is my pick on the Detroit versus Seattle game. Up next, in the Phillies Diamondbacks game, we have my lone system pick of the day. So as most of you know, I have developed 19 MLB betting systems that have proven to work over 7 years. Now, those 19 systems are recommending to bet just one team today, which is quite surprising. Now, which one is it? Well, the team in question is supported by the Hot Teams Matchup #1 system, whose rules are quite simple. Bet the road team if they've won at least 1 game in a row, and if the home team has won at least 4 games in a row. As you have probably noticed, pretty much all of my betting systems are contrarian by nature, which means they go against conventional wisdom. In this case, as you can see, the home team is on fire. They have won at least 4 games in a row, and yet we are betting against them. Now, as you can imagine, that means that my system is recommending to bet the Phillies. But hold on. Let me say a few words about the Hot Teams Matchup #1 system. It did well. Well, I developed this system in 2019. And then in the next 3 years, it did pretty well. And then it with a 7-20 record overall. Now, what about this current season, the 2024 season, so far this system has generated a 2-13 record, which is abysmal. All right, granted, the average odds of those bets were 2.30, which is the same as plus 130 in American format. So we are mostly betting underdogs, but still a 2-13 record is incredibly bad. So I have lost quite a bit of faith in this system. Now, we also have another betting strategy that points in the direction of the Phillies. It is called the hot bats number 2. I'm not going to review the rules in today's video. I've done it in the past, but let me speak about its performance. It did well in 2019, but then if you merge the 2021, 22, 23 seasons, it did incredibly bad with minus 31 units over 86 bits. So in terms of a return on investment, that equates to a minus 36% ROI. So the performance has been so bad that I also tend to fade its peaks. So far in 2024, this system has a minus 9% ROI, so it just continued to do badly. So that's why you might be surprised, but I am going with the Diamondbacks to win straight up. So I am going against those two systems who have fared incredibly bad in recent years. So I think it's best to go with Arizona, not only because of my systems, but also due to my due diligence on this game. I have analyzed it further and I do prefer to go with Arizona. I have, in fact, many arguments supporting them. Well, first, the Phillies are coming off an emotional series against the Dodgers. They also won the last two games, so they could have a bit of a letdown, even though I know they also want to win in Arizona, of course, but they are coming off an emotional series at LA. Also, the D-backs have been on fire. If you take a look at their last 11 series, they have a 10-0-1 record. So in other words, they have won 10 of their past 11 series, and in the other one, they tied. So also earlier this year, they played 3 games against each other. The Diamondbacks won the first game 5-4 before losing 12-1 and 4-1. So they were humiliated in the last 2 games, and I'm sure Arizona will remember those meetings. Now, Colby Allard will be the starter for Philly. His career ERA is 6.05. Do I need to say any more? I mean, this is incredibly bad. And we're talking about his career ERA, so that's a long period of time. Meanwhile, Jordan Montgomery is not having a great season either, but at least he will be well rested because in his last start, he only threw 53 pitches in a rain-shortened game. Lately, he's had some big ups and downs. Let's look at the number of earned runs that he's allowed in his recent games. 1, 6, 1, 7, 2, and 0. So it's been either a great start or a very bad one. And I'll be crossing my fingers that today will be a good start. But Arizona's offense is also on fire. So ultimately, I've decided to go with the D-backs in this game. All right, we're going to move on with more quick picks. Hello to Charles Pacheco from Las Vegas and also Brian McGuire, my man, who is back. He says the Cubs bet was clutch yesterday and the Reds crushed him yesterday. Sorry to hear this. Dre Jones, who's been watching me for years, but who never comments. Wow, thank you so much for commenting. I really appreciate you. Even if you have not commented in the past, the fact that you've been watching my videos for years is really great. Thank you so much, my friend. All right. What stuck with me says fix your audio. I know it's not that loud and that forces you to turn it up. but in the settings, it is at the maximum that I can do, unfortunately, in both the settings of my mic and with the software I'm using. So I apologize for that, but that's the loudest that I can do, unfortunately. All right, so let's keep moving. So my fourth pick concerns the Giants versus Nationals game, and in this case, I'm taking no run scored in the first inning. Now, there are a few picks where I won't comment for very long. I'm just going to give you the pick, and that's the case of this game. I am seeing that the weather projection says that there will be some rain, so I'm not even sure if that game will take place or not. So on no run scored in the first inning, the line varies between -115 and -104. What you can see on your screen right now are the odds from the Stake Sportsbook. Similar pick in the Brewers-Braves game. Again, no run scored in the first inning. And again, the best line I saw was with Stake. This time the line is between -110 and -103. All right, let's move on. Padres versus Pirates. I'm taking a player proposition bet. In fact, in this case, what I like is O'Neill Cruz from the Pirates to record under 1.5 total bases. This time, the best odds were -140 with bet 365. But as a general rule, when I looked at the odds from many sports books, the odds varied between -155 and -140. If you're more familiar with decimal odds, we're talking about odds that are around 1.70, by the way. Okay, up next, are you ready to roll? Because the next one is my premium pick, the lone premium pick that I have for you today. It concerns the Mets versus Rockies game. And I am grabbing a run to be scored in the first inning. Well, I forgot to show it on the screen, but this is a premium pick. This time, as you can see on your screen, the best line I obtained earlier, about an hour ago, was -114 with Bet Rivers or Unibet or Leo Vegas or Bally. There are many bookies who have the same lines on every game, and this is where I found the best one. But you may have to settle for lower odds depending on your bookie. It could be -130 with others. All right, so why do I like this play so much? There are many reasons. Well, if you take a look at the past 35 games that were played at the hitter-friendly course field, well, let's pretend you would have bet at least one run to be scored in the first inning of those past 35 games taking place at course field. Well, you would have obtained a 22-13 record, which corresponds to a 63% winning percentage. Now, that's already good to begin with. But what about when you incorporate the starting pitchers? Well, to me, it gets even better because the starting pitchers are below average. On New York's side, we have David Peterson, who is a guy that I don't trust too much. I don't think he's very good. Keep in mind that I value a lot the famous whip statistic, the walks plus hits per inning pitch, whose typical value, the average value, is 1.30. In the case of Peterson, his whip stat is 1.42, which shows he is a below average pitcher. There has been a lot of traffic on the bases when he's been on the mound. Also, he has 47 strikeouts versus 27 walks, which is a pretty bad ratio. He doesn't scare anyone. I know he has done a bit better of late, but that does not scare me too much, honestly. I think the Rockies have a shot to score at least a run in the initial frame against David Peterson. And on the other side, we have Austin Gomber, who is having a better season than usual. Let's give him that. And strangely enough, this year he has done better at home versus on the road, which is rare when you are a Rockies pitcher because you are playing at course field, of course. but still he is facing the ninth best offense in the big leagues in terms of runs scored. So the Mets have scored the ninth most runs in the league. They can certainly put at least a run on the board in the initial frame. So again, my my pick on the Mets Rockies game, which also turns out to be a premium pick that I shared with all of my paid members at mgpicks.com earlier today, is at least over 0.5 run to be scored in the first inning of the Mets Rockies game. All right, up next, let's talk about the Reds versus Marlins game. And now, among the 10 plays that I am recommending today, the 10 free picks, this may be the one that I like the least, honestly. And it is Kyle Tyler, which will be Miami's starter today, to allow over 4.5 hits. So, in other words, I believe he will allow 5 hits or more against the Reds. Right now, the most advantageous line that I saw was minus 120. Minus 110. Well, the line varies between minus 120 and minus 110 across the different bookies. But again, this may be the pick that I like the least among the 10 that I'm going to share with you. In his last 6 outings, Kyle Tyler has allowed 5, 7, 9, 3, and 4 hits. So basically, if you would have bet him to allow more than 4.5 hits, you would have won the last 3 bets. And he's facing a fairly good Cincinnati offense. So I think this is a valid play. We are getting some pretty reasonable odds. You know, the line is not minus 150. It's fairly good. So that's why I have a lean on Tyler to allow 5 plus hits in that game. All right. Now let's talk about the Angels versus Yankees game. What is my favorite play right now? It is Tyler Anderson under 4.5 strikeouts. In other words, I do not believe he will record 5 strikeouts or more in this game. This time, let's pretend that you would have made that specific bet in each of Anderson's past 15 outings. Well, you would have racked up a 10-5 record, which is rock solid. And now he's facing the Yankees, who are clearly one of the top offenses in the big leagues. So it is possible that they will chase him early, which will give him fewer opportunities to rack up some punch outs. And also, the Yankees rank 21st in terms of the most strikeouts by their offense. So, in other words, they don't strike out that often. All right. And one more argument supporting this play. And this time, this one was quite close to qualify as one of my premium picks. I have not pulled the trigger, but it was borderline acceptable because I also like the fact that the Bronx Bombers will be mad after suffering an ugly 8-2 home loss against those same Angels yesterday. So they will be looking for some payback and they will try to rock Tyler Anderson. So that's why I love this play. All right, we have only one game left. And in the Baltimore-Toronto game, I'm taking Dalton Varsho to record over 0.5 total bases. So in other words, I do believe that he will get at least one hit, either a single, double, triple, or home run in the game against Baltimore. All right. So I could recap all picks quickly for those of you who joined late. So we're taking no run scored in the first inning of the Rays Cards game. Then I'm taking Seattle minus half a run in the first 5 innings against Detroit because they really need this game. And Brian Wu has been money at home. I'm taking the D-backs straight up against the Phillies because the Phillies qualify under 2 very, very bad betting systems that I tend to fade. Then no run scored in the first inning of the Giants-Nationals game and the same in the Brewers-Braves game. Up next, I'm taking O'Neill Cruz from the Pirates under 1.5 total bases. Then came my premium pick of the day on the Mets Rockies game, where I believe at least one run will be scored in the initial frame. I also took Kyle Tyler from the Marlins to allow at least 5 hits. Tyler Anderson under 4.5 strikeouts against the Yankees. And Dalton Varsho over 0.5 total bases. And now it's time to talk about my free 3-day MLB prediction contest that you can enter and where you might win $100 US if you are the top performer. So it's quite simple. You need to pick every single game in these 3 days. Well, there are a few exceptions because I don't want to force you to place your picks too early. I am removing a few early game. Well, in fact, I could show you details of the contest that will be clearer to you. So on Friday, you need to pick every game except the Guardians Twins game number 1 of their doubleheader. On Saturday, you will need to pick all games except these two. On Sunday, you will make a pick on each game except the Angels Nationals game. So in total, you will need to make a pick on 40 games. So show us that you are the prediction beast, my friend. You can see here the deadline to enter your picks every day. So I have already set up the contest and you can already enter your picks for the Friday games. No, sorry. That's not true. I've not done it yet, but right after I finish this live stream, I will do it. So at around noon today, on Thursday, you will be able to start entering your picks for the Friday games. Now for Saturday, you'll need to wait until Saturday morning. For Sunday, you need to wait until Sunday morning. In some cases, if we have a big favorite, I might use the run line instead to avoid that everybody picks the same team. Here are the prizes. So the person with the most correct picks will get $100 US. If you finish in second place, you will get access to 1 full week of my picks across all sports. So these days it includes MLB and also some occasional tennis bets. And I think the WNBA will have a few games coming soon. If you finish in third place, you will get access to all of my baseball picks for a full week. Now, if there is a tie between several contestants, I will simply do a random draw. So again, this contest is free to enter, so you have nothing to lose. And I want you to show everyone that you are the baseball prediction beast. So all you need to do to enter this contest is to sign up at njpicks.com. And by the way, once you sign up, you need to choose between a free plan or a paid subscription plan. So if you get the free plan, you will still be able to enter the contest. You don't need to be a paid member. But of course, if you want to get access to all of my premium picks, well, this is where you do it. You just need to take the paid plan. You can take just one sport on a weekly or on a monthly basis. It's up to you. And you will get all of the picks directly in your mailbox and via SMS. On average, you can expect to receive between 3 to 5 MLB picks per day, and those are the best ones that I've been able to find every day. All right, so please enter this MLB prediction contest. I hope to see you there. Thank you very much for showing up to this live stream. I appreciate it. And let me know in the comments if you like this format where I give you a pick on every single game. That shows you what you would get if you take the silver level with the YouTube membership by clicking the join button below each of my videos. All right, so this is Professor MJ live from Quebec City in Canada. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll be there tomorrow with more baseball picks. This time it will be a pre-recorded video. Thank you. See you soon, guys.